I'd like to bring the meeting of the Historic District Commission to order. It is 6 o'clock sharp. I'm Ashley Meyer. If you guys could introduce yourselves down the road.
I'm Grace Sales.
Laura Dor.
Sarah Cohn.
Mary Ann Lawrence.
Thank you. Yeah, I was going to say, I can't see you. All right. First item is the approval of the minutes for the June 11th meeting. Has everyone gotten a chance to look it over? And if so, are there any corrections? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I move that the meeting minutes of the Wednesday, June 11th, 2025 meeting are approved as submitted.
Support.
It has been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on down the agenda, public comment on any non-agenda items. Is there anyone who would like to speak on a non-agenda item? Going once, going twice? Okay. Cool. So we can move on to, it doesn't look like we have any old business and new business. So could a representative for case HDC 25-15, 823 North Farragut Street, can you just step up to the podium? Be sure to sign your name on the paper there, and then just give us a little overview of your project and what you're requesting.
Hello, my name is Tristan Robb. Hello, my name is Tristan Robb. I am speaking on behalf of the Farragut, also known as the Charles A. Eddy residence, if I'm correct. It is a building that I believe you guys marked as built in 1890. It's had one extension around 1920. The area that we're working on was part of that extension. The porch that we are looking at for that, it is on 1012 5th Street. None of what is on that porch right now is part of the original design of the house. And so we're looking to update, make that porch in line with the design of the rest of the house, especially the 823 North Farragut side. We're taking inspiration from architectural elements at the front entrance. I believe that's figure 12, somewhere around there. And that will be replacing the columns that are there. We will be using a 24-inch baluster suspended in a extra rail on top and bottom in order to give the feel of a historic home while still making it up to code. And then the deck itself will be replaced as like, same types of fascias, same type of 1x3 tongue and groove, I believe. And the joists and structural elements will be brought up to code.
Yeah, looking at the picture, I'm trying to see, but it's very small in our pictures. The baluster, the little spindles, are they straight or are they turned?
Those will be turned spindles.
I'm sorry, I was speaking to the ones that are already there on the front, the ones that you're hypothetically trying to.
Ones that are on the front are, I believe, are straight. They were replaced in 1970, about. Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like your front is more Victorian, and then they went with a more classical vibe on the side, which is a little funny.
Yes.
And my parents live around the corner, and I never noticed that. I love that house, though. It's a great house.
It's that porch porch is blocked by a big old tree, so you can only really see it in the winter.
That makes me feel better.
The columns that you are replacing, I noticed on the one that's existing, there's like some decorative feature up at the top, and it looks like on the front porch, I don't, it's not a good picture, but looks like there may be some decorative feature up at the top of that column a little bit. Is that going to be, is that going to be replicated in the new columns that you're proposing?
We will be replacing with turned porch posts of 7-inch diameter. We don't have any decorative elements above that currently in mind.
So it looks like two on the front. Yeah, on the front, it looks like in those columns, there's some type of design, like within the column itself. Is that going to be replicated on the back porch as well in those columns?
The decorative element for the porch posts on the front is part of the, oh, I should have remembered that name. They are part of the ceiling element. They aren't part of the actual posts themselves.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of a picture to see, but if you look at the side of this, it looks like there's like some cuts in the post, but maybe it's just how the paint is. I'm not sure.
Yes, we will try to replicate the cuts in it.
On the new,
Yes.
oh, okay.
The main difference that we'll have to do for that is we will have to reduce the size of that upper portion because that's up to a 14-inch diameter, which would be very difficult to replicate.
That flange, is that what you're talking, this part right
Yep.
there? 14, really?
I
Dang,
know.
That's huge.
Yeah. More wood than sense.
What page are you looking at, Ashley?
13.
So the objective of the ones I assume they're custom making for you is to get as close to this as is reasonably possible.
Yes.
Okay. And the spindles are that number 8 on that chart, that little, okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry, let me clarify. So on page 9, is this what you're, is that, so what you're saying on page, on this picture here, on page 9 of 17, so what you're saying is it's not going to have that decorative element at the top?
It will not have
It will not.
style decorative element on the top.
Yeah, what they're saying is that whole side porch was added on later. So if you look at the front of the house, it has the original porch on it. This side, that's got more of like a neoclassical vibe to it, was all added after the fact, so they don't match. So they're trying to make them match, in essence.
Yes.
Did you bring any extra? So can we see what those posts are going to look like?
On page 13, there is the design that we're going to try to replicate there.
Oh, okay, thank you. I understand what you're saying now.
From the design on page 12, the column on the right-hand side of the porch, that's going to go from the deck to the ceiling versus how it is right now where it's just like
Yes.
very short. Okay,
It needs to be added for additional structural support.
absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been done that way back then anyway. It's weird.
And the deck boards, you said, will be the same size as what is existing? Okay. Are all the materials that you're using wood, or are they composite, or?
All the materials that we will be using is wood.
And then is the plan to paint it after?
Yes, probably just a standard white coat to match with the rest of the house.
So you're only doing deckings, columns, and railings, right? There's no more to the scope of the project than that?
We'll have to replace the joists and the structural elements as well.
Okay.
And so,
Tony, does that have to be in here?
No.
Is there skirting to be repaired? It looks like there's some skirting here.
it can be added if requested.
Otherwise, it would be open?
Otherwise, it would be open.
Open, okay.
Now, the railing that's there, it looks like it's metal, the railing that goes from the, are you replacing that to match the railing?
We are not touching the stairs or
Okay.
the railing for the stairs.
Okay.
So you said that the porch was replaced in the 70s. I don't know if you just, are you one of the owners?
The owner is right
It's
there.
right there. Okay, I'm just wondering, was it, so what was the damage? What's been causing the damage and why it needs to be repaired and?
Sir, can you come to the microphone? I apologize.
We just need it for the record. It's a recording.
It's okay.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, Ann and Bob were, when they first got the house, they renovated it and changed it into what they wanted. That was, she bought it in 1971, is when she purchased the house, Ann did.
Okay. And so the need for replacement, just to be more specific about what you mean by damage and how it would,
Oh, the damage is now that we've, underneath there. It looks like what they did was they sistered the boards underneath there, and there's, the middle board is rot. And then they're sistered under the supports underneath. So I had a couple contractors come in and look at it, and they're like, this has to be restructured so that it's solid.
got it, and this has been going on for a bit? I'm just wondering about what's different about this porch than the other porch? One's got damage and one is 100 years old and it doesn't have damage.
So that one was replaced. This one wasn't replaced as that. The one that is on the front of the house was replaced probably. Gosh, we were there. So 1990s.
I see. Oh, it's not the original either. So they're, okay.
So we're taking elements that are left over from that, and I wish they would have, I mean, for a long time, they had the original actual columns and everything, and they were beautiful, and then when there was another owner in between, and when that owner came in, they threw all that stuff away, and I was like, oh.
Those are really beautiful columns. It's too bad.
I know, they were gorgeous. They really were.
Now, I know it came up in a prior, but I would ask, on the front porch, is there lattice underneath the porch? Because of the shrubs, I can't see, so I didn't.
There's shrubs in front of that as well.
Okay,
That's what they did.
that's fine. So is there lattice there at all? Okay.
And the shrubs had went around, but we're trying to get some of that maintained, because it's kind of overgrown. So we put the lattice there just to keep animals from getting there, basically.
Keep out debris, whatnot. Do you happen to know what size skirting is on the front porch? No, it's an odd question.
They said there wasn't any.
None on the front porch? There isn't any? Weird.
The shrubs.
Not lattice, but that skirting board that goes across.
Yep, there's a
6-inch, 8-inch?
I'd say that's probably about 10, I would guess. Okay. So were you planning on imitating that on the side porch, or were you just going to leave?
If we're talking about fascias, then yes.
Okay, yeah.
I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Here, swap sides. Yep.
Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, do I hear a motion?
Public comment?
Oh, public comment, yes, thank you. I keep forgetting that, sorry. Is there any public comment on this case? Anyone who would like to come forward and speak on this case? All right, hearing none, we'll move on. So, is there any other questions, comments, concerns?
I just have a quick question, just because I've been through the house a few times. Is it still a multi-unit, or did you go back to a single house?
Still a multi.
Still a multi? Okay. I think that's probably why the one porch wore out quicker anyway. It was probably the tenant entrance. Yeah.
How many units are in there?
It's up to 5 units.
Wow, it is a big house, I'm not surprised.
What is it? 8.5 bathrooms? 7.5? Okay.
I just love the house, so it's just like, it was at one time some kind of a boarding house, because there were like little letters on all the doors that are on the Farragut side, and there's a sign called the Farragut on that side. And Ann and Bob lived in the townhouse part of it, which was that faces the street. So it's, that's like the house part of it, where they lived, the managers lived, and then
I knew that the California owners had made some changes, but I didn't know how far they had gone. But thank you. It was just a curiosity on my part. Thank you.
Yeah, there was one point, just side note, completely unrelated, but because my parents lived like a block over, years ago when it was up for sale, we were like, we should just buy it, move the whole family in there because it was so big. It's,
Get back up.
we lived at 809 since 19, I think we bought that house in 1993. Yeah, we bought 809 North Farragut, which is just a little house in the middle, and it was going to be raised, and we renovated it and brought it back and left it there. And so in between the big red apartments was this little house that was ours, where he was raised. This is my son, anyway. So, and then when that all happened, we needed space because we had a business called Ono Design that was a marketing business. We needed bigger space, and so it's all zoned office. So we thought, well, we could have our office. We'd have room if we, and so we offered to do a land contract, and we did a land contract for 2 years, and then the business was taken off, and we moved, bought the house outright, and so we've had it about 10 years. So it's just and we're just been doing work on the inside and trying to get things cleaned up, and which it was quite a bit of work. And
so do you have tenants now? Okay, are you full? That's awesome, good for you.
well, it's only, I take one of the apartments I'm still in. I stayed there, and then owner design's gone, and we've got a tenants down there. So first floor, third floor, and then townhouse has a really nice couple. You got to find the right people. That's the
Definitely.
Definitely. House, it's like, okay, we're going to be keeping working on this. You have to understand that it's going to be improvements made just to keep it up, because a lot of it, I mean, I need to paint. I know I need to paint, and I've got all these things, but I want to make sure the structural part is really sound. I've had to do work on the chimneys and stuff already, so there's little things that, it's no house.
It's an old house. It's just, it's a rotating priority list is all it really is. Yeah, for sure. All right, if there's,
Labor of love, that's what it ends up being.
all right, if there's no other comments or questions, is there a motion?
I move that the Historic District Commission approve a certificate of appropriateness for the work described and depicted by the work review application for case HDC 25-15. The applicant has demonstrated the work will comply with the U.S. Secretary of the Interior standards for rehabilitation 1 through 6, 9, and 10, as well as Section 6411C of the city's Historic Preservation District regulations, with the stipulation that painting to any exposed treated wood happens within 6 to 8 months of the project completion.
Is there support?
Support.
It has been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you can follow up with Mr. Dyer if you guys have any other questions or concerns. Moving on down the agenda, we have HDC 25-16, 1408 6th Street. Well, you look familiar. If you could please sign in, state your name, and give a brief description of your project.
My name is Michael Byrne. I live 1408 6th Street. I am the owner of this house. And this is phase 2. In 2022, we replaced the upstairs windows. And now we're requesting permission to replace the first floor windows. There's 18 windows to be replaced. I think if you look at page, what page is that? Page 10, you'll see the downstairs windows is to be replaced versus the window that was replaced in 2022. So when the downstairs window is replaced, it'll look like the one above, which, and that allows us, obviously, to have more energy-efficient windows, but it also allows us to eliminate storm shutters that weren't part of the original construction, I'm sure. And I think it improves the house, gets it closer to what it was when it was originally built. There are 3 windows that are unique, and they are in the northern exposure, the front of the house. It's the 3 top windows you see there, and those will be custom made to match what's there now. This will, I think this will be a big improvement from an appearance standpoint in the front, in that we can eliminate the storm shutters, which are square on the front, and this will look more like the original construction again. And those custom-made windows actually end up to be about 23% of the total cost. Those 3 windows. That's the project.
So just for clarity's sake, all of your openings are the same, all your mutton patterns are the same.
Dimensionally, exactly the way it is.
Okay. And the shapes of the windows on that northern elevation are being replicated
Yeah.
as is? Okay.
Interiors will be exactly as they are now, basically.
Windows on either side of that, not the ones that are the half oval, but the oblong ones on either side. Those are going to have those muttons still that are there.
They'll be there exactly as they are.
Those have storms over the top of them, right? So it's probably just like a double hung
Yeah,
pattern on
those,
the inside.
to clarify, those appear to be 2 narrow double hungs on flanking the bigger window, yeah.
Yeah, the center window, the lower end is just fixed glass. The two are double hung so, on the side.
Oh, that's just a curtain rod, so it's just one big fixed window, the center, the large one?
As it is today. And obviously, the top three are fixed.
And the decorative feature over that front window will remain there, correct? The decorative wood feature above it?
You're talking about the front windows?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that is not part of the project. That'll stay, yeah. This is all vinyl siding. It was sided, who knows when. It was there when I bought the house.
It's very nice.
On page 8, you've got a small window. I'm guessing it's a stationary. It's got 8 panels in it. Is that a stationary? There's a small window in the photo here. Is that a stationary?
Yeah, that is not going to be in part of the project. That's, each one of those little glasses is stained glass. And the window is actually a window in a closet.
I noticed the same pattern was on a window on the front of the building as
Front,
well. But
too.
those windows, so you said up top, have been replaced already. So I was just curious about the lower one. Thank you.
Yeah, that's going to be unchanged. If you look at the floor plan showing the windows to be replaced, let me get that. While it's not shown on here, on the east side window, you see the 5 windows to be replaced, and that window you're talking about is in that little closet area between the dining room and the entry. It's one of those closets that's under the stairway.
Just to be clear, too, those front windows you're counting as 6 separate windows. You're counting the front windows as 6 separate windows? You said there's 18 total. And I'm looking at,
18 in total.
right, and so you're counting the front window as 6 separate? Is that what you're doing? Because otherwise, we're saying 15, right?
Yeah, because those are all separate windows. They just make that cool pad, but they're all separate openings, separate windows.
Make sure I'm not missing anything.
Are there any other comments or questions? All right. Is there any public comment on this case? Seeing absolutely no one in the audience, unless Tony's got something, we can move on.
I don't think I count as the public.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, all right. So if there's no other comments or questions, is there a motion?
I move that the Historic District Commission approve a certificate of appropriateness for all the work described and depicted by the work review and application for case HDC 25-16 submitted by the applicant. The applicant has demonstrated the work will comply with the U.S. Secretary of the Interior Standards for Rehabilitation 1 through 6 and 9, as well as Section 64-11C of the city's Historic Preservation District regulations.
Support?
It has been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. And any questions, you can follow up with Mr. Dyer here. He's the man with all the information. All right, moving on down the road here. Is there any other business to come before the commission? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Ah, curveball.
Was that you second?
Yeah, that was
Oh,
me.
wow, all right, you got me.
I know, I'm all over it. All those in favor say aye.
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 We are adjourned.